Hi everyone, Dylan here out of Lightning Fitness in South Windsor, Connecticut, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to perform a frame carry or a farmer's carry. These are great movements for just overall health, human movement. They're also great for building total body strength, grip strength, and if you plan on competing in the sport of strongman, which was why you might be watching this, then you will more likely than not have some iteration of this movement in a competition. So if you're going to be performing a frame carry or a farmer's carry for just general health, there are a few cues that you need to make sure that you have. So first off, you want to make sure that you have proper bracing and body alignment. And one of the cues that I like to use is having your ribs and your hips aligned. Whether you're going to be bending over, if you're going to be squatting, you want to make sure that you have these two parts of your body in alignment. This will help you create a better brace with your body. It'll also make sure that you don't get pulled into any positions that you don't want to under load. Another cue that you want to make sure that you have is having long arms. This will help engage your lats. It'll put your hips at the right position. It will also make sure that you are not starting with bent arms and jerking the implement off of the ground. If you do this, it's going to put a lot of tension on your biceps. It might pull them back down into extension, which might cause a tear. Or you might be in a struggle position the entire time, which that's not ideal for this movement. If you are going to be performing it for just grip strength, general health, I would recommend taking a grip in the middle of the handle. This will evenly distribute the load. You can just walk with a steady pace. You can do static holds, but this way you're not going to worry about the implement rocking at all. But if you were going to be competing in strongman, then I would recommend taking a slightly staggered grip. So I like to do like half an inch to an inch back on the handle. So when you pick the implement off of the ground, it is already tipping forward. And this is where we like to have the cue of chasing the implement rather than just running with the implement. You can also implement a staggered stance. So if you're going to be performing this movement for just general health, then you want to make sure that you're standing directly in the middle of the implement. You want to have the middle of your fingers and the middle of your foot aligned. This gives you a stable base to push off of and to walk forward. But again, if you were using a staggered grip, you'd also use a staggered stance with one foot forward, one foot slightly back. So when you pick the implement off the ground, same thing, it tips forward, it puts your other foot forward as well, and you just follow the momentum of the movement. And there's a couple things you want to make sure that you're doing. When you are physically gripping the implement, you want to make sure that you are digging your hands into it. If the implement gets pulled out and you grip where you normally grip, it might get pulled out of your hands, versus if you really dig your hands into the grips and it gets pulled out, it'll pull it into a more ideal position for you. Having calluses is going to help with this. You want to make sure that you don't have your calluses build up too much where you risk the tearing, but you do need to have calluses to help grip the implement. Another thing you need to make sure that you do as well is that you push forward with your hips the whole time. So if you just stand up with the implement, you might be a little bit too top heavy. So having that push forward with your hips, same thing. What we want to make sure that we're doing is being smooth with our footwork. You want to make sure that you're not heel clopping or heel stomping like a horse. You want to make sure that you have this rolling motion with your feet. One of the cues that a lot of the strongman competitors use here is imagining you're like Fred Flintstone when he's running and you have that rolling motion. This will help you be smoother, and when you're smoother, you're quicker. It'll also help you prevent from having your feet too far out in front of you, trying to catch your step. I've been guilty of this as well. The last competition I did, it caused me to overstride, and I lost all my stability in my upper body, and it caused me to be staggering and moving to left or right as opposed to just push. Factor to consider is the amount of sheer impact that you have on every step of doing this movement. So it's not just going for a run or going for a walk. More often than not, you are walking with several hundreds of pounds extra on your body, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times your body weight. That is a lot of extra impact on every step for multiple steps on each run, and you're completing multiple runs with a turn, or you're doing multiple sets. So this is a lot of impact you are now adding onto your body, and it might cause your shins to feel more beat up. I had this issue training for the last competition that I did, and I had pretty bad shin splints. Truthfully, I just hopped right into a prep for it, so I would have given myself more time to acclimate throughout my entire body, but I needed to make sure that I could hit the weights that I needed to. A way to combat this is making sure that you're performing tib raises, calf raises, both seated and standing, and just overall stretching to combat the fatigue. Those are the basic cues to successfully perform a frame carry or a farmer's carry. There is also a link to all of the other tutorials for basic strongman movements. And there will be signs posted on the doors and around the facility. And if anyone has any questions while I'm in the facility, you're more than welcome to come up to me and ask, and I'm happy to assist you with the movement. But if you have any more questions, then please let me know. Thank you.